The apartment was quiet, lit only by the soft glow of flickering candles on the coffee table. I curled up on the plush couch, my gray and red contrast off-shoulder sweater slipping just enough to feel exposed, but in a way that made my heart race. My chestnut brown hair fell softly around my hazel eyes, and I couldn't stop glancing at him. Sometimes the most dangerous feelings are the ones you're supposed to resist. Josiah leaned casually against the arm of the couch, his black baggy sweater hanging loosely over his lean frame. His tousled dark brown hair fell into his piercing blue eyes as he studied me with a look that made my pulse quicken. "You've been quiet tonight," he murmured, voice low, almost teasing. "I'm not used to you being serious," I replied softly, my words barely escaping. "The moment someone stops pretending, everything you thought you knew changes." He smiled faintly, a dangerous curve of lips that didn't quite reach his eyes. "Serious isn't always bad. Sometimes it's necessary." His hand brushed lightly against mine, and a shiver ran through me. My fingers tightened on the edge of my sweater, betraying me. "I shouldn't want this," I said, though my voice lacked conviction. "The hardest battles are often fought inside your own heart." Josiah moved closer, his knee brushing mine. I felt warmth radiate from his baggy black sweater, and I couldn't help but lean slightly toward him. The apartment seemed smaller, the candlelight wrapping us in a private bubble of tension and longing. "You're shaking," he observed, his thumb stroking the back of my hand. "Because I'm terrified," I admitted. "Fear and desire are often closer than you think." "Of me?" His voice was soft, but charged with intensity. I shook my head. "Of myself." He leaned in, close enough that I could feel his breath on my cheek. "Then stop fighting it. The moment you surrender is the moment everything changes." I closed my eyes, letting him guide me. His lips hovered near mine, teasing, testing, before finally pressing softly against them. I melted immediately, all walls crumbling under the weight of his certainty. His hands rested on my waist, holding me steady, keeping me from pulling away. When he pulled back just slightly, he whispered, "Say it. Admit that you want this." Sometimes the truth doesn't need words. It's written in the way we don't let go. I didn't answer with words. I answered with my lips, pressing back harder, letting every heartbeat and every suppressed feeling spill over. The couch felt too small for the intensity building between us, and yet it was perfect to collapse together. His hand slid along my shoulder, the gray and red of my sweater brushing against his black baggy sweater. He stared at me, every look loaded with something dangerous, irresistible. Desire doesn't ask permission. It only finds the cracks in your defenses. I gasped as he kissed me again, firmer this time, no hesitation, just truth. His lips, his hands, his gaze, all claimed me in ways I hadn't realized I needed. "You're not a game," he murmured between kisses. "You've never been just a moment to me." Sometimes the ones who seem the most forbidden are the ones your heart was waiting for all along. Time blurred. The movie still played, forgotten. Shadows danced across the walls, but we didn't notice. My hands tangled in his hair, his fingers pressing into my waist, and for a perfect moment, the world outside ceased to exist. We stayed like that, wrapped in each other, hearts racing, breaths mingling. I realized then that giving in didn't feel like surrender, it felt like coming home. Sparkle's hook. The sweetest surrender is the one your heart has been craving all along. The candles burned lower, their flickering light casting soft shadows across the apartment. I leaned against Josiah's chest on the plush couch, the warmth of his black baggy sweater surrounding me. My gray and red off-shoulder sweater shifted slightly as I pressed closer, feeling his heartbeat sync with mine. Some nights are unforgettable because they uncover truths you didn't know existed. He kissed the top of my head, fingers brushing gently through my chestnut brown hair. "I could stay like this forever," he whispered, voice rough with emotion. "I think I wouldn't mind that," I murmured, letting myself sink into him completely. Letting go isn't weakness, it's discovering where your heart truly belongs. Josiah lifted his hand, tracing the line of my jaw, his thumb brushing against my lips. The intimacy made my pulse race, but I didn't pull back. I wanted him to see me, every fear, every desire laid bare. "You have no idea what you do to me," he said, eyes deep pools of emotion beneath his tousled hair. "The ones we're not supposed to want often leave the deepest marks." I shivered as his hand slipped to the small of my back, pulling me closer. Our bodies pressed together, soft fabrics blending, the gray and red of my sweater against the black of his, colors mirrored by the flickering candlelight. "I'm scared," I admitted, voice trembling. "Vulnerability is the most magnetic form of strength." "Of me?" His blue eyes searched mine. "Of losing myself," I whispered. He smiled faintly, leaning closer until our foreheads touched. "Then don't fight it," he said, and I felt the weight of every unspoken word lift between us. Sometimes surrender is the only way to truly feel alive. Our lips met again, this time slower, softer, more desperate. Each kiss was a promise, a confession, a rebellion against the rules we both knew existed. My hands threaded into his hair, and his hands gripped my waist, anchoring us together. The couch, the apartment, the world outside, all faded. Only the heat of our connection remained, pulsing, undeniable, unstoppable. When desire refuses to wait, the heart always finds a way. Josiah pulled back slightly, just enough to look me in the eyes. "You're mine," he murmured, voice husky with emotion. I think I've always been," I whispered, unable to hide the truth any longer. Some truths can't be denied, no matter how forbidden they seem. The night stretched on, a perfect blend of laughter, whispered secrets, and stolen kisses. I realized something important. Giving in didn't make me weak. It made me whole. Our hands remained intertwined, my head resting on his chest, his chin brushing the top of my hair. Even as the candles flickered out, the warmth between us didn't fade. Love doesn't always ask permission. It just happens, unstoppable and undeniable. Finally, I lifted my gaze to meet his, chest rising and falling, eyes shining. "I don't want this night to end," I said softly. "Then it won't," he replied, pulling me into a final, lingering embrace. "Because this us, it's just the beginning." Some nights change everything, and some loves are worth breaking all the rules for.